Hi everyone, this is Adrienne Waters, a dietetic intern at CSS, and today we're going to learn more about Irish food. But first, let's watch a fun video to learn more about St. Patrick and why we celebrate St. Patrick's Day on March 17th.
Millions of people around the world don their best green attire every March 17th to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. But there is a lot we bet you didn't know about Ireland's patron saint. To start with, St. Patrick wasn't even Irish. He was born around the 5th century in Britain, then part of the Roman Empire. At 16, he was kidnapped by Irish raiders and spent 6 years in captivity. He converted to Christianity and later returned to Ireland to spend the rest of his life working as a Christian missionary. After Patrick died on March 17, 461, he was largely forgotten until mythology and legend grew, and centuries later he was honored as the patron saint of Ireland. According to one famous myth, Patrick drove all the snakes from Ireland. The story symbolized Patrick cleansing the island of paganism. There's just one problem. Ireland never had any snakes to begin with. The Emerald Isle is surrounded by water too frigid for snakes to migrate there, whether from Britain or anywhere else. According to another famous story, Patrick used the 3 leaves of the shamrock to explain the Holy Trinity. As a result, people in 18th century Ireland started wearing shamrocks on March 17th to signify their Irish Christian pride. That tradition later grew into wearing green clothing, a popular St. Patrick's Day custom today. Though shamrocks don't really exist, we know them as any one of several 3-leaf plants, such as wood sorrel or white and yellow clover. As important as St. Patrick is to Irish history, we bet you didn't know the tradition of celebrating March 17th with parades actually started in America. The parade tradition really took off after the Great Potato Famine hit Ireland in the 1840s, sending hundreds of thousands of Irish immigrants pouring into New York, Boston, and other American cities. The first record of a St. Patrick's Day parade in New York dates to 1762, when a group of Irish soldiers serving with the British marched a few blocks to a tavern in Lower Manhattan. Today, it's the largest and longest St. Patrick's Day parade, boasting close to 200,000 participants and nearly 3 million spectators each year. So this March 17th, we hope you'll be wearing green and toasting to some St. Patrick's Day history that we bet you didn't know.
The people of Ireland are considered Irish, and they have a unique identity, ancestry, and culture. Historically, the island was made up of clans, and while the population of Ireland is currently about 7 million people, an estimated 50 to 80 million people around the world have an Irish background, making it one of the largest cultural influences of any nation around the world. As you know, Ireland is well known for its unique cuisines. Let's get an American's perspective on this culture and delve a little further to explore the true traditional Irish cuisines.
What do I think Irish food is?
Potatoes.
Lots and lots of potatoes.
Food in the general UK?
Corned beef.
Corned beef and hash. Fish and steaks.
I have no idea what people in Ireland eat.
Shamrock shakes at McDonald's. Basically anything green.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Really, guys?
Irish meals typically consist of animal products such as meat, poultry, fish, eggs, cheese, and milk. The Irish consume a lot of animal protein. Lamb and roast beef are popular menu items, along with sausages, which they call bangers, and bacon. You'll also find a lot of puddings, such as Yorkshire pudding and potatoes. Potatoes are commonly found in stews and pie, while mashed potatoes are just referred to as mash. Cashel blue cheese is also a favorite and is made in Ireland. The Irish are also known for their soda bread, which is made from baking soda instead of yeast. And oatmeal is eaten as porridge, or used as making bread and biscuits. Fruits and vegetables are limited to the ones that grow best in cold environments. And berries are popular in puddings, pies, and jams. 2 unique vegetables in this area is seaweed and dulse, which is a red algae. The Irish take pride in their natural dishes and ability to enhance flavors. Now, let's go to Ireland and see what's cooking.
Start with probably one of the more traditional things you'll see in a lot of menus. It's Irish stew, which is basically you have, usually it's lamb or sometimes beef chopped up, and then it's got like carrots and onions and stuff in there, and then there'll be like some mashed potatoes. They'll pour it on top of that. Like you'll pour the stew on top of the mashed potatoes, and that's a really good hearty meal. You'll see in a lot of the pubs and restaurants, so that's cool. On the other side of it, if you want to kind of it flipped over where the mashed potatoes are on the bottom, the mashed potatoes are on the top instead of the bottom, you have shepherd's pie, which is minced meat or ground beef and kind of a sauce, and then it's baked with mashed potatoes on top of it. That's kind of a popular thing. When you look at the meats here, though, you'll see a lot of beef, and especially in the pubs, a lot of beef burgers and stuff like that, but really the meat you want to have when you are here is lamb shank or lamb cutlets or whatever you want. The lamb is really good here in Ireland, so you definitely want to be having some of that. But for me, actually the best meat kind of thing that's out there is actually the fish. When you come here, the salmon is amazing, okay? And you can get smoked salmon on bread, a very popular thing here. Oh, and the soda bread they have here is just awesome. It's made a different way than the other bread. There's some bicarbonate in it, but it's so good. But the fish is fantastic, and you can go to places. There's a place right over here called Dino's. It's a fish and chip shop. You can go there and get your fish and chips and go, and man, you will just love it when you are here. And the thing is, there's a lot of different fish you can have when you are here. Yes, salmon, like I said before, is the biggest one out there, but there's a lot of cod. You can have monkfish, all kinds of stuff. But also, the shellfish here is really good. We've had crab when we've been here. We've had fish stews, all kinds of stuff with shellfish in it, and you really do really well. So one of the starters I tell people to have when they come here is have the seafood chowder when you are here, because no matter where we've gone in Ireland, the seafood chowder has been phenomenal. So that's nice, because it's not like cheap crappy fish they throw in there. It's got salmon, it's got other stuff. And then you're like, man, see, I'm drooling trying to explain it, and it is really good. Another nice starter is if you get oysters. Man, the oysters here, we had some today. It was just phenomenal when you are here. And that's the thing, is they're super fresh here, so it's a good place if you want to try oysters and you're worried your tummy's not going to like them. This is a place you don't have to worry is, are these oysters old or not? Because they'll be fresh as fresh can be, especially in a place like Kinsale. You're going to be totally okay with it. Now, I wouldn't be talking about Ireland and Irish food without talking about the lovely potato. And of course, you have your chips, your French fries, your chips. You will have those with your fish and chips and stuff like that. But they do put them with a lot of other dishes out there in terms of your chips. But the thing is, there's other things you might have. You'll see a lot of mashed potatoes and stuff like that. And also, there's actually potato pancakes or potato bread, depending on how you want to say it. I think they look like potato pancakes called boxty you can get. It's like grated potatoes fried, and that's actually pretty good for something to have. And then there's the thing, I think it's called colcana, I don't know. I never asked them how to say it, I just pointed, said I want that, which is like mashed potatoes and then like cabbage mixed together. Now, in terms of drinks when you are here, Ireland is a tea and beer country. They drink more tea per capita, I think, than anywhere else in the world, so you will have tea with breakfast. Just ask, you'll be fine. I've talked to people that do drink coffee. They like the coffee here too, but it's a tea place. When you sweets that are here, you'll see a lot of, I guess, milk-based sweets, like caramels and stuff like that here. Cream caramels, they actually are really good, whether they're covered in chocolate or not. You will like that. It's also a very easy gift to take home to people, so that's kind of a cool thing. In terms of cakes and desserts, I guess Guinness cake would probably be the most popular one for a tourist to try. It's basically just a really thick, dense chocolate cake, which is actually pretty good, so you have that. There's two things I kind of say for people when they come here for breakfast. One, go the full Irish. Get a full Irish breakfast. Oh, it is so good. You have eggs, you have the sausage, and these huge sausage, or two maybe. You get bacon, you get hash brown, but they call it like a potato farls. You get fried mushrooms, fried potatoes, baked beans. Usually there's some toast there as well. I mean, it is just phenomenal. And of course, then there's black pudding and white pudding to go along with it. The special kind of, blood-made sausage and stuff like that. I mean, it is just so good. The other side of it, if you don't want that big, huge breakfast, a nice filling breakfast, it's not as heavy in the calories, let's say, is Irish oatmeal. I'm not kidding. I know people like oatmeal. Why would I want to have oatmeal or porridge or something like that? Look, the oatmeal here in Ireland is phenomenal, so definitely have some of that for breakfast. You won't be upset by it. And if you look at times to eat, breakfast times, 7 to about 10, lunch times, 11 to 1, and dinner times a little earlier, like, I don't know, we saw people, from 5 to 7, 8 o'clock was kind of a popular thing, and the restaurants were kind of slowing down on Friday night about 8:39.
Thank you for your time and attention. I hope you gained a new perspective on Irish foods. I can't wait to hear about your favorites.